Hello, Blue Jays fans. Ethan and Brandon are back, unfortunately, with the news that we did not want to bring, but here it is. The Blue Jays, unfortunately, have lost the World Series to the LA Dodgers. But of course, we're here to reflect, and what a seventh game it was. So close going into extra innings. After a 4-4 fight, the Blue Jays lost, and it was still a historic game nonetheless. And we're here to talk about it. So there was some great parts, there was some bad parts. Even in game six, that ball getting, caught in the wall is something to even talk about. But let's
Mhm.
let's recap the final World Series game here, Brandon. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not a ton to positively spin. If this were any other game, and like literally any other game from the season, there's so much positive to talk about. Bo Bichette hit that clutch 3-run home run. Max Scherzer delivered a really impressive start in what might be the final start of his career. I mean, there's a lot of positives to take away. Obviously, the fact that it was Game 7 of the World Series means that the only thing people are really going to remember is that the Dodgers came back, late home runs from Max Muncy, Miguel Rojas of all people, somehow, and then obviously Will Smith in extra innings. But I mean, it's frustrating. I've long lamented managers who bring in their relievers for multiple innings. So in this case, John Schneider brought in Jeff Hoffman for 4 outs. Who knows how much it actually matters for these one inning guys to actually sit down and then have to go back out there. It obviously burned the Blue Jays in the ninth inning, but regardless of how you want to slice it, it was close. I mean, that is as close of a baseball game as there can be. I mean, it's really, if Alejandro Kirk, hits that ball a little harder, maybe it gets past somebody. If he hits it a little softer, maybe he beats out the double play and the extra innings keep going. I mean, just Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in the ninth inning came 10 feet away from, the
Yeah.
best home run since Joe Carter. I mean, it's really it's just a game of inches. I mean, there were so many ridiculously close plays in the last few innings. It was such an exciting game. It just ended in such a disappointing way.
Yeah, it's really a shame, but I mean, there was also upsides too, like you said, George Springer being back, in
Mhm.
the lineup was really great to see. Bo Bichette, getting an RBI well, first of all, getting the home run was really great to see. In the third inning, I mean, he was a little bit cold for this series, and then to see him kind of explode in the last game, even though we didn't get the win, I mean, that was a pretty awesome play. Again, winning the World Series is a huge feat, but I mean, considering the Blue Jays haven't been to the World Series in quite some time, to even see them play this humongous game, tie it up, have it tied in the ninth inning, but still lose, is still nothing to, bat an eye at. It's still incredible, and you're going up against the one of the greatest teams in baseball right now. To have people like Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts. I mean, we pretty much shut them out for most of the game. I'll also say our start, going up against Shohei Ohtani, we really did shut him down for
Mhm.
most of the game. Once he came in near the end, as a batter, it's a little bit different, but as a pitcher, he really didn't deliver, which I was really proud of our Blue Jays for that.
Yeah, no, they attacked him. He did not have a great series on the mound, which again, we talked about this going into the World Series, which is that the Dodgers got there on the strength of their starting rotation. And for the most part, the Blue Jays beat three of them. They beat Ohtani, Glasnow, and Blake Snell for the most part. Obviously, Blake Snell had a really clutch inning in relief in Game 7, but like it was one guy, it was Yamamoto, who just unfortunately, I mean, again, very disappointing for the Blue Jays, but if you want to give credit where it's due, Yoshinobu Yamamoto throwing nearly 100 pitches to win Game 6 and extend the World Series, and then coming out on 0 days rest to close out games, to keep Game 7 tied and then close it out to win it. I mean, that is heroic. I mean, that is really one of the great. Sometimes you just fall victim to, one of the most impressive athletic performances in the history of the world. And that's just what happened to the Blue Jays with Yamamoto on the mound in this World Series. But again, I mean, again, moral victories don't really feel great right now. It's the Blue Jays kept it so close. They were so close to taking out the best team in baseball. And again, we'll talk about this in another video that across the whole season, there's so many positives to take away. I mean, Ernie Clement is the answer to an amazing trivia question of who has the most hits in a single postseason in baseball history. It's Ernie Clement of all the great baseball players throughout history, and especially in October, it's Ernie Clement. So it's just there's a lot of great to take away from the whole season, even from the World Series as a whole. But look, at the end of the day. In a game of inches, the Blue Jays lost by centimeters, and it's just, that's just what happens sometimes.
But look, there's always next season, and I think that considering we have Vlad and so many other players, spring training is already just around the corner. I'm always excited for 2026, and we'll be discussing what's coming in the new year in another video. So, although the World Series has ended and we wish it went a different way, there's always a positive spin on this, which is, hey, we made it to the World Series, and let's look forward to next year. We'd love to hear your comments on what your thoughts are of this game and of the series in general. Obviously, we're not happy with how it ended, but let's hear what you thought of the series overall in the comments section below, and we will be responding to every comment.